How's it going, guys? This is the all-new Corvette E-Ray, and today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive it from a first-person point of view. The E-Ray is powered in part by the 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 from the C8 Stingray that makes 495 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. All of that power is sent to the rear wheels via an 8-speed DCT. But things have been turned up a notch. You see, Chevy has put, for the first time ever, an electric powertrain on the front axle. We've got an electric motor that boosts power by an additional 160 for a total power output of 655. The result is 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, making it the quickest Corvette in history. It's also the first ever all-wheel drive Corvette, as well as the first ever electrified Corvette. Hopping on inside of the E-Ray, it's very similar to your Z06 and your C8 Stingray, but there are some key differences in terms of the features. I love the squared off steering wheel, of course those carbon fiber paddles for that 8-speed DCT, beautiful carbon fiber seats. Let's hop inside. One of the coolest things in this entire Corvette is stealth mode. If you go ahead and toggle the mode selector to the left and select stealth mode, foot on the brake, we can fire up this Corvette completely in all electric mode. So if we put it in drive, we can go ahead and drive forward right now up to 45 miles an hour for up to 4 miles of range, so you can get yourself out of your neighborhood without annoying anyone. After that, the motor kicks in. So it shares the front bumper with the Z06 as well as the wide body. Easy way to tell is these accents are typically in black on the Z06, but they're body colored on the E-Ray. Now, if we pop open the front trunk, it actually has a very sizable front trunk, given the fact that it has those electric powertrain components up there. It's actually the same size as the standard Corvette's trunk. And it also has soft close. So it'll actually close itself, which I've never seen before in any other vehicle. Coming around to the side, we've got standard carbon ceramic brakes. These are also bespoke wheels for the E-Ray, 20 in the front, 21s in the rear. And it has the largest all-season tires ever to be fitted on any road car at 345 millimeters, which is pretty crazy. Another easy way to tell the E-Ray, this is painted in a body color, that awesome Y-shaped design. We've got the E-Ray badging right here. Now coming around to the rear of the E-Ray, we've got the quad exhaust off of the C8 Stingray as opposed to the center-mounted exhaust on the Z06. We also have a new revised Stingray badge, and in the back, we also have additional storage space as well. This thing is honestly pretty practical. We also have something called Charge Plus. If we go ahead and click this button right here, up on the screen, it'll say Charge Plus On. That'll use the engine as well as regenerative braking to go ahead and restore that battery power in as quick as 3 miles. So if you want to go to the drag strip or drive it out in the canyons or the track, you can make sure you have full power. I love the graphics on the displays. Check out what happens when we change the driving modes. Sport mode, it's got all of these incredible graphics. If we go into track mode, it shows it on the track, which is just really awesome. We can even scroll over to My mode. We can customize all of the features individually, the steering, the suspension, the engine response, the braking, etc. There's also a completely new mode. So if we click the home screen right here, we've got the E-Ray performance gauges. So right here, we can see electric input and engine output. If we give it a little bit of gas, it'll show you the power split between the electric motor and the engine. We've also got a dyno gauge here that shows you power over time. You can change it from horsepower and torque and also select the time frame in which it's reporting. And then we also have extra gauges to do with the electric powertrain. Very similar in terms of the rest of the interior. We've got optional 14-speaker upgraded Bose speaker system. I like the fact that in the convertible, if we go ahead and press this button right here, we've got a little window back there so you can hear the engine even better. All right, guys, let's take it out for a spin and see what it's like to drive. All right, launch control in the E-Ray. Put it into track mode using the mode selector. Click the traction control button off twice. Switch it over to ESC Sport. Floor the brake, floor the gas. Oh my God, that is fast. All right, canyons in the E-Ray. The level of grip you get from this all-wheel drive is nuts. Wow. It's really confidence inspiring because you've got that extra traction from the front wheels. And the sounds it makes on acceleration is so cool. Now, surprisingly, it doesn't actually feel anywhere near as much as it actually weighs. It feels just as light and nimble as the C8, but then you've got so much more power on turn exit. Wow. Chevy killed it with the E-Ray. Honestly, I am so impressed. Unbelievable. And I love the fact that if you're just a little bit on the gas, it doesn't give you any of that electronic noise. It's just pure V8. But then when you're fully on the gas, it gives you the craziest, most space age sounding noise to let you know that that powertrain is helping out. Let's switch it up a bit. Let's go ahead and drive it in all electric mode. So we're gonna hit the engine start button twice, toggle over to stealth mode, put it into drive, and let's slowly take away in complete silence. How wild is that? So apparently we can go up to 45 miles an hour and do this for about 3-4 miles. You can see the range right there. We've got 92% battery, and I love the fact that you can click that charge plus button right there to charge up the battery really quickly if you want to do another launch. But it's pretty crazy driving this thing in all electric mode. And honestly, with the slightly more refined suspension and the completely new interior of this C8 platform, it feels right at home with an electric powertrain. I kind of like it, actually. How often are you going to use this? Well, if you live in a neighborhood where people aren't fans of loud cars, which unfortunately seems to be most neighborhoods I've ever lived in, you can use this to get out of your garage early in the morning. If you're going to a Cars and Coffee, or you're taking it to work and you don't want to wake people up, it's a pretty cool option, actually. Or if you wanted to just putt around town, and most likely just to show your friends that you can drive your Corvette in all electric mode. We're gonna put it into weather mode right now because Chevy says you can drive this in the rain or even the snow. Apparently they have actually tested this in the snow, which is pretty darn cool, especially for all of the people living in Michigan and the Midwest. A lot of Corvette fans out there that have to store their car 6 months out of the year. But now, hopefully, this is an excuse to no longer garage your car in the winter and actually take it out, because it comes on all seasons, it's got all-wheel drive, and it even has a weather mode that literally has a snowflake on it. So pretty much no excuse there. Obviously, we know this thing performs very, very well, but what I'm impressed about is if we're in tour mode, how comfortable and easy to drive the E-Ray is. It's nice and relaxing. Obviously, it still feels like a sports car. It's not like the steering becomes something out of a Toyota Sienna or a bus, but it's much more relaxed. The suspension feels nice, it's quiet in here, and you can just cruise on a daily basis, no problem at all. Knowing the fact that obviously, if you kick it into track mode, it's an absolute rocket ship. I mean, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds is as fast as a Bugatti Chiron and a Bugatti Veyron, cars that cost 10 or 30 times as much as this. And honestly, I'm impressed with how it feels after 60 miles an hour. It keeps pulling. The acceleration is absolutely brutal. All right, back into track mode, manual mode. I love those gauges with the electric output and the internal combustion engine output. Man, this thing is fun to drive. This really is the performance bargain of the century. Starting at $104,450, you're getting a car with crazy amounts of grip and insane levels of acceleration. It really is remarkable what Chevy has been able to do with this car. The interior is nice. We've got an upgraded 14-speaker Bose speaker system. We've got wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. We've got a heads-up display that comes standard. The seats feel really comfortable. These seats are phenomenal. Very supportive yet comfortable all at the same time. The squared-off steering wheel feels great in your hands. And the soundtrack is phenomenal. And it has me really excited for what's to come. Now, what is it like to drive compared to a Z06? Well, it's definitely a bit more refined. This is a much better daily drivable, manageable sports car than something like a Z06. If you were gonna drive a Z06 every day, it's definitely possible if you're an absolute savage, but this is more well suited for that. And I love the fact that we still have a big front trunk and we've got a rear trunk as well. This car is ballistically fast. It's faster than the Z06 in a straight line. It's got insane amounts of grip, and if it's in colder weather, you're just gonna destroy the Z06 because it's gonna struggle for traction. The Z06 is definitely more lively and raw, so if you want something that really tingles your spine and is really exciting with some compromises, that's definitely the route to go. But this thing really does pose an amazing argument for itself. And at the price, it's absolutely insane. It really just depends on what the buyer's looking for. The E-Ray and the Z06 are kind of two different cars, so it's almost hard to compare them. One's a track beast, and the other one is an insane road car that's also comfortable. So to say one versus the other, it really depends on your personal preferences. Honestly, they're both absolutely fantastic. Well, to end this review, let's do a couple more polls. Oh, this thing is wild. The sounds this thing makes are so cool. Oh my gosh, the level of traction with that all-wheel drive is truly impressive. And to think this is on the all-season tires, if you opt for the ZER package, you can get PS4S summer tires. I am so impressed with the way this handles. It doesn't feel any bit of its 4,000-pound curb weight. It feels much lighter. And it gives you all that extra confidence because of the all-wheel drive system. And because it's got the electric motor in the front, the wheels can communicate with each other and change speeds to improve traction much faster than if it was an all-wheel drive internal combustion engine at all fours. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. 2 thumbs up for the E-Ray. This thing is truly remarkable. All right guys, see you next video.